Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to be starting the next lesson, which is order of operations with powers. So if you're following along at home, it's going to be this paper here. So section 2.3 with page 67. So this is just a funny meme that I came across. If you're familiar with the game Among Us, it involves people doing tasks on a ship, and there are a couple of imposters that are trying to kill the the crewmates that are doing their tasks. So there's 4 here. One of them is an imposter. Can you figure out which one it is? Well, this one is 36 centimeters squared. This one is 6 times 6, which is 36. This one is 6 squared, which is also 6 times 6, which is 36. And this one is just 6. So this one here is the imposter. So this is just a little bit of review from the last lesson. We talked about representing numbers using powers of 10. So I just wanted you to take maybe a little bit of time to think about this, try to figure out the answer. How would you write it using powers of 10? And I'll just give you a little hint that this number has 5 thousands, 6 hundreds, 2 tens, and 1 1. So remember these numbers, 1,000, 100, 10, and 1, we can write using powers of 10. Alright, so another way to think about it, the number 1,000, we can write it as 10 to the power of 3. The number 100, we can write it as 10 to the power of 2. The number 10, we can write it as 10 to the power of 1. The number 1, we can write it as 10 to the power of 0. So if we multiply that by how many of those we have, that'll represent each amount, and then we just add them together. So 5 times 10 to the power of 3 is 5,000. 6 times 10 to the power of 2 is 600. 2 times 10 to the power of 1 is 20. And 1 times 10 to the power of 0 is 1. So when we add it together, we get 5,621. So just moving into the lesson now, I'm just not sure if anybody has ever heard of order of operations. One answer that I got in class, somebody said BEDMAS, and that is exactly what we're going to be talking about. So the word BEDMAS helps us remember the order of operations, and in case you don't remember, the B stands for brackets, the E stands for exponents, the D division, M multiplication, A addition, S subtraction. So this is the order in which we need to evaluate things in order to find the correct answer. And because this unit is about power and exponents, we're going to be focusing on exponents mostly. So first we simplify anything that's inside the brackets, then we simplify our exponents, then we multiply and divide, and then we add and subtract. So for example, I'm just going through the examples at the bottom of page 67. So the first one is 2 to the power of 3 plus 1. We don't have any brackets here, so we are going to move on to the exponents. So when we do 2 to the power of 3, that is just 2 times 2 times 2, which equals 8. And you can also just punch in 2 to the power of 3 on your calculator, you'll get 8. We don't have any multiplying or dividing, so we can just add our answer now. So we have 8 plus 1 equals 9. So 2 to the power of 3 plus 1 equals 9. So for the next example, it's 8 minus 3 to the power of 2. We don't have any brackets, so again, we are going to start by evaluating the exponent. 3 to the power of 2 is 3 times 3, which is 9. So 8 minus 9 equals negative 1. The last example, we have 3 minus 1 in brackets to the power of 3. So this time, because we do have brackets, we need to simplify those first. So 3 minus 1 is 2, and then we just do 2 to the power of 3, which is 2 times 2 times 2, which equals 8. So again, these examples, they're all written out in your notes. Try to follow along with them if you're not sure. All right. So on the next page, so page 68 at the top, there are 4 check questions. So we can do the first couple together and then pause the video and then try the last couple on your own. So the first one, 4 to the power of 2 plus 3. What do we do first? Do we see any brackets? The answer is no. So we're going to be doing the exponent. So we're going to do 4 to the power of 2, which is 4 times 4, which equals 16. And then we ask, do we have any multiplying or dividing? The answer is no. So we can just finish by adding 16 plus 3 equals 19. So make sure you write this in your notes. The next one is 5 squared minus 2 squared. We don't have any brackets again, so we can do the exponents. So 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25. 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. Now we don't have any multiplying or dividing, so we can just do 25 minus 4, and we get 21. All right, so here are the last two. Like I said, please pause the video here, and we're going to go over the answers afterwards. So this one, 2 plus 1 squared, we have to do the brackets first. So we just do 2 plus 1 is 3. And now we have 3 to the power of 2, which is an exponent, so we do that next. 3 times 3, which equals 9. And that's it, because there's no other multiplying, dividing, or adding or subtracting. And then for the last one, we have 5 minus 6 in brackets to the power of 2. So we do the stuff inside the brackets first. 5 minus 6 is negative 1. So 5 minus 6 to the power of 2 equals negative 1 to the power of 2, which equals negative 1 times negative 1, and our answer is positive 1. So again, make sure you write those in if you did not copy them in your notes. Now I'm just going to talk about the next couple of examples. So the first one is 2 times negative 2 to the power of 3, all squared. So first we have to start with what is inside the brackets. So we have multiplication, but we also have an exponent. And because we have an exponent inside the brackets, we need to do that before we multiply, because exponents comes before multiply in BEDMAS. So if we do 2 to the power of 3, it is negative 2 to the power of 3 is negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, which equals negative 8. So inside our brackets simplifies to 2 times negative 8, which equals negative 16. Now we've simplified everything inside the brackets, so we can do this exponent outside the brackets. And we get negative 16 to the power of 2 equals positive 256. So again, the solution is outlined for you. I'm just going over these quickly here in the notes. The next example, we have a bracket, we have a divide, and we have an exponent. So we start with the brackets, 7 to the power of 2 plus 5 to the power of 0. Now because these are both exponents, we have to solve them before we can add, because again, exponent comes before add in BEDMAS. So 7 to the power of 2 is 49. 5 to the power of 0 is 1. Remember, anything to the power of 0 equals 1. And now we can add those together. 49 plus 1 equals 50. On the other side of the divide, we have negative 5 to the power of 1. So again, we have an exponent. So we can solve that exponent. Negative 5 to the power of 1 just equals negative 5. It just equals itself. And now we got the answer on the left side, we got the answer on the right side, so now we can do the divide in the middle. And we get 50 divided by negative 5 equals negative 10. And I just put here a positive divided by a negative gives us a negative. Only if we have two negatives, that'll give us a positive answer. Okay, so on the top of page 69, again, there are 4 questions. We're going to go through the first one together, and I think the last 3, again, pause the video, try them for yourself, and then I'll go through the answers quickly. So the first one is 5 times 3 to the power of 2. We don't have any brackets, so we start with our exponent. So 3 to the power of 2 is just 3 times 3, which equals 9. And then we just do 5 times 9 equals 45. So like I said, just pause the video, make sure you try these. Notice how C and D have brackets, so we're going to do those first. But yeah, give them a shot. Okay, so for B, we have 8 to the power of 2 divided by 4. We don't have any brackets here, so we're going to start with the exponent. 8 to the power of 2 is 8 times 8, which is 64. And then we just divide it by 4 to get our answer of 16. Now, C and D are a little bit more complicated. So C, we have brackets here, and we have an exponent here. So again, we're going to start with the brackets. So 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. And 6 to the power of 0 is 1. So we have 9 plus 1 in our brackets, which equals 10. And then, I didn't put the squared here, I must have forgot about that, but there is a squared here. So we're left, once we evaluate the brackets, we're left with 10 squared. Then we have 10 squared divided by 2 to the power of 1, so we can simplify these exponents. 10 squared is 10 times 10, which is 100. 2 to the power of 1 is just 2. And now that our exponents are solved, we can do the dividing. So 100 divided by 2 is 50. And the last one. Again, we have brackets here, so we need to simplify those first. And inside our brackets, we have an exponent, so we need to simplify that before multiplying. So 2 to the power of 2 is 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. Oops. So now that we've simplified our brackets, we have 10 to the power of 2 plus 8 to the power of 2. So remember, before we add, we need to solve these exponents. 10 to the power of 2 is 100, 8 to the power of 2 is 64, and now we can add those together to get 164. So that's it for this lesson. I'm going to finish the rest of the stuff in another video. This one went a little bit longer than I was anticipating, but that's okay. Yeah, so that's it for now, and hope you guys have a good day. Bye.